What's up, guys? Please drop a like on this video before it starts. Tomorrow, Young LA is holding their 10-year anniversary sale, and you can use my code at Lexx for 25% off all of your orders. Also, we've been having a lot of fun on the gaming channel lately. I've been posting more videos, and I have a video being posted tomorrow on there, so check it out.
Welcome to the new video, guys. So today I'm going to teach you how to fix your bird chest. I am probably one of the most credible people to talk about this, okay? Now that I have this energy drink and this little pen, as you can see, we have a little something over there, okay?
What, gym cells?
Aaron said
the
this.
bar?
What is this, you might think? It's
a black piece of paper that you might draw.
I know you all are wondering, what is this? Because this is, you know, very out of place in this home gym. I mean, nothing in here is the color black, so it really stands out. So listen, what we're gonna do on here, it's gonna be something in 1,000 years from now, the last thing they're gonna think is that this is how you're gonna build your chest. But this is what it is, right? So first off, right?
Kinda similar to the deadlift tutorial.
I'm gonna put up some pictures, okay? This is how my chest looked. It was bad. Like, I literally thought I was, and when I say that, okay, let's just stop being, let's stop being funny for a second here. I thought I was, okay? Guys, I literally am so insecure, or was so insecure about my chest, that even now when I train my chest, it is, I would say, objectively a better muscle group in my body than most, but I train my chest way harder than any other muscle group for the simple fact that I'm literally like, I have like a childhood insecurity. If you're like, for example, like, have your parents ever like screamed at you or beat the shit out of you when you were a kid and like, you know, you kind of hate being yelled at or like, you know, maybe you have a habit of raising your voice or like you're really aggressive? That's like me, you know, that's my inner child speaking. I literally, I would have nightmares about how small my chest was, okay? It was the, if I popped off my shirt, zero confidence, zero. That's how bad it was. Let's say this is you, right? You like the chest day, right? You like the chest day. This is the difference between you and I. I love the chest day, okay? I love it. You like it, I love it. That's what separates between me and you and why I got out of this tiny little bird chest state. Okay, so I went from this, right, wait, to that.
A baby chick.
Yeah, that's me, a full-grown eagle with a pair of tits, all right? If you want to become an eagle with giant knockers, you have to love chest day. You have to literally love it. You know, we're not going to finish this drawing.
What the fuck is
You
that?
can only assume what this means to chest day.
I don't know
Not
what
only
that,
that, not only that you, you don't have to, you might not just love it. You might have to take it a step further, okay, like me.
And make love to it?
Have to make love to chest day. Right, so the point here being is that I really hated hitting chest, and for that reason, it was because my chest was small and I was insecure about it, and when something isn't working or you're not progressing in a certain way, whether it's strength training or bodybuilding, you're not gonna really wanna do it. So you have to learn how to make love to the thing that you hate the most, like I do Aaron. Kidding, I'm just kidding. Turn the camera back around, it was just a joke. This is step one, okay? Step two. This shouldn't be a lot of problem for you guys, because I know a lot of you mother effers are be skipping legs. You probably love hitting chest, but this is for my specific bird chest people. I have had a few people message me and say they have some, I don't know if it's exact. I don't know if this is the exact term, but I think it's something along the lines like pectus cavus. Your chest caves in, and I don't know what to tell you, all right, because I didn't have that. Or you could even try to take a plunger to it.
Okay.
Okay. Step two, after you learn how to love it, would be you have to recognize and you have to use your brain. How do we draw brain? Step two, you have to think and be genuinely honest with yourself. Are your genetics good and are your genetics bad? And you have to recognize, you know, what is a good genetics and what is bad genetics. Because for me, I had the assumption that, my chest simply won't grow, which is half training but half genetics, because I can actually put a picture up of what my chest looks like when I flex it under really good lighting, maybe even a little leaner, and you'll actually notice that your pec and the muscle fiber, for me specifically, and I have seen, you know, on my For You page, I can recognize this because I do have the issue myself and it's something that I can't fix, is that the reason that your lower pecs might actually be lacking, which is really important to have a full chest, of course, is because sometimes, let's say that this is all muscle fibers. Your chest is just all these muscle fibers. They don't really necessarily go that way, but we'll just say it for the sake of. Your lower pec does, but right? My lower pec fibers actually kind of insert down in here. My lower pecs actually insert into my midsection. So it's not just this really beautiful one scoop. My lower pec actually has an insertion that kind of goes down into my abs, meaning that when I didn't have a lot of mass on my chest, when I'd flex it, it would literally still, honestly, under bad lighting, of course, my pec just disappears. Like, my lower chest is just non-existent when I flex it due to this reasoning. So if you have good genetics, there's really nothing to worry about, I would say. But for me, if you have bad genetics, it's really important to understand that. This is us right now, okay?
On the
Do you know
phone?
what this is?
That's a phone.
That's a phone, right? And what's happening is...
That looks like a bit like TikTok right there.
That's TikTok. So what happens is you play on your phone and you get on TikTok and you listen to all these fucking idiots who try to tell you, you know, this is the best training method. No, this is the best training method. No, this is the best training method. No, this is the best way to hit your chest.
No.
No, we don't do that, okay? Because I tried, before TikTok there was YouTube, obviously YouTube still exists, I'm not that old, but the point is there was still YouTube. And before, and even now, TikTok has definitely trained my training methods like a lot, and I've thought of all these things to do. Same with YouTube, it would always influence me to try to do these certain things, you know, and certain exercises that would be good for my chest. And I'm not saying all of it's bad, of course, but what I'm saying is my chest really didn't start to grow until I realized, and this is just my hypothesis, I think everyone's different. I think everyone's pecs insert differently. I think everyone just has a certain feeling for their chest that, or any muscle group that others don't have. Can you have similar ones? Can you have exact ones? Sure. Will you get results from doing any given exercise if you're doing it correctly? More than likely, some are better than others, but I really picked and chose the exercises that I enjoyed the most, that I felt the most in my pecs, that I seen the results from. Because if you're listening to some guy on TikTok saying this is the best chest exercise, but you keep doing it over and over again, and I will get into this in a second, and you're not seeing results, what the f is going on, right? So listen to this. I have a funny story about this. When I was younger, I actually, and I'm sure you've even heard this quote, I think Sam Solik said it. It was something along the lines of, incline is the best chest exercise because you're always going to have a big lower back, and the majority of the time, you know, your upper chest is what's going to be lagging. So guys, I tell you, I have video evidence of this. When I was 16 to 17, all that I would do is the upper chest, right? I would completely neglect my lower pecs. So what happened, and I have pictures of this, is that my upper chest started to develop a ton, but because I didn't have a really strong, solid lower base or good genetics for my lower pecs, it still looked like my chest was absolutely non-existent, especially from the side. Of course, sometimes in the front, when I would pull my shoulders back, I'd still have this like kind of crossover on my chest, but that wasn't what was building an aesthetic chest to me. I would rather have a giant pair of saggy, you know, mushy, absolutely jiggly lower boobies than I would any upper chest if I had to pick between the two, because the lower boob is what the chest really is. Of course, like the upper chest is still the chest, but I mean, why would you want to have absolutely nothing here and everything up here? If you have nothing, the illusion is going to be from the side, you're going to have kind of a shelf here and then just going to go down slowly and just morph into your abs, and you're not going to look like you have a chest. And that's literally what was happening to me. I had to completely chill on incline because now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have an overdeveloped upper chest, like literally from the side and everything. I have this crazy like line of my upper chest, and I have like a shelf now, and I've been working really hard to get my lower boobs. So I started to use, coming back full circle, my brain, and what, you know, am I going to listen that, you know, inclines is the best movement and I should always be doing incline just because I should have a good lower chest? No, because I've recognized that my genetics aren't good enough to, you know, withstand just training incline for the majority of the time because my lower isn't growing. Another thing that I had to cope with, and this was only until 2 years ago, was step 4 after getting off my phone. Powerlifting, bench press, in terms of retracting your scapula, getting your shoulders in a safe position, and minimizing the range of motion, didn't do jack shit for my chest. If it did something for my chest, I wouldn't have had this insane transformation in the past year and a half just doing bodybuilding. Because I was able to bench 405 still with this pec problem. I still had a tiny little fucking bird chest, and I could bench 405. And in my personal experience, powerlifting style bench press does not do shit for my chest. It never did anything. I was quite literally a 405 presser with a bird chest. I don't know how the hell, not a bird chest, but a pretty darn small chest. And I don't even know how it's possible, right? And I had to understand that just because I love a movement doesn't mean it's a good movement for me. Now moving on to step number 5, okay? This is revolutionizing. And obviously, guys, this is, I didn't spell experience right, I don't think.
No.
Dropped out of high school. All right, listen. This is my experience, of course. And I think this can help, though, to a certain degree. And to follow every step, but I think a lot of them you should. I was training at a certain RPE, right? This sounds insane. It really does sound absolutely insane what I'm about to say. But because of the powerlifting style training, I was literally training never to failure. When I say never, guys, I mean this physique right here. Never. I can't stress the word Never did I train to failure
Oh.
until literally a year and a half ago when I began my bulk. Can you believe it?
No.
I never trained to failure. I only trained at RP 7, 8 to 9, and I still built that physique. That means every single accessory for the first 5 to 6 years of my training was done at RP 7 to 8 to 9, unless it was a 1 rep max on a certain powerlifting movement. And I still achieved that physique, regardless of that. I think implementing and accepting with open arms that I was capable and I could train to absolute fucking failure on every single accessory set, not just 1 rep, but multiple reps, has actually blown my chest up. Now, this is another thing. I was powerlifting, benching 3 times, sometimes even 4 times a week. And you're like, how the hell is that even possible? How can you even do that, right? And also, while doing this, my chest wasn't even growing. It's because you have to manage your fatigue, and what that means is go off of how you basically feel. And the reason that my chest hasn't blown up is you have to understand that getting your rest is way better than anything than you can do for your chest after a hard training session. So what I changed from doing 3 to 4 times a week, managing my fatigue as well as I could, was I don't know how, this sounds crazy to me, but 1 chest session a week, bro split style. I'm talking my chest day, like I'm gonna do today, is only chest. There's really nothing else to it. I only hit chest. So I put 100% of my daily effort into hitting that muscle group. And maybe you could even squeeze in 2 if your chest just heals quicker than usual, but my chest takes about a week to heal from this hard training session. And because I give my chest an entire week to heal, it's grown. That's how hypertrophy is. It's like the breaking down and the rebuilding of the muscle. Number 7, this is the best one. I'm telling you, if you want a humongous chest, I used to think about it. Why do these calisthenic guys who can do all these muscle ups and pull ups have these giant, I'm talking, these dudes have they cut a bowling ball in half and then put it under their breast tissue. What is this?
A slice of pizza next to a cup.
It's a chip next to some sauce. What do you do to that?
You eat it.
What do you do to a chip next to some sauce?
You dip it.
You dip it. Because these dudes that do calisthenics have bowling balls for chest because they're always dipping. Whether it's a muscle up, whether it's a literal dip, it's a bunch of variations that they do for their chest, and it always leads back to the dip. And I have hypothesized that the dip is quite literally
You need to put the nerd thing there.
Best.
I have hypothesized.
Lower chest movement ever. And I'm telling you guys, I have been doing weighted dips now. I can do up to 3 plates. My lower chest is just starting to bulge. It's starting to bulge like this.
A huge pair of underwear
And legs.
inside the pants.
This is a bulge. That's my chest. After dipping, my chest is bulging. Literally. It's quite literally bulging, guys. I just think dips are like almost a compound movement for your chest, and that's why all these calisthenics have absolutely giant lower chests. It's one of those movements that are tedious. You don't want to load up 3 plates and just, carry it around all day. I mean, I know you guys probably have to do that because your balls are probably that much weight, but you're adding even more onto it. Who wants to do that, right? So anyway, now moving on to step 8. And what I think is probably the most important just overall.
Fun? Not fun.
Huge there, guys. You have to have fun while you're training, especially try to have fun for the things that you hate the most, which this could be reverted back to leg day. If you hate squats, are they fun? Let's say they're not. Maybe try to find a movement that can replicate that to a certain degree that you find fun, or try to find the love for the squats, right? Because I've noticed my chest days are very fun to me. I have fun doing the dips. I found these exercises that I really enjoy doing that are easy to hit failure, and also I just think it's super important to not dread going into the workout that you have to do. Of course, maybe you will have to do a couple exercises that you really hate just because you feel them and you think they feel amazing. But for the most part, training should be fun, and that's huge. I think that's a big reason that I've gotten this far. Camera's about to overheat, so I'll wrap it up with the last step.
You can't. You're gonna end it on 9 rather than 10.
Okay. Give me a moment.
The gingerbread man. What is it? Keep guessing. Then what?
The stretch, and also, dare I say it?
You couldn't just draw a fist like this with something coming out the top and bottom?
I don't know, maybe. The stretch and the squeeze. Guys, I'm telling you, that is so insanely important because I would always bang out my sets at RP 8, 7, 9, whatever I was doing before I started training to failure, and there would be no control, no tempo to the sets. It would just be, as much weight as I can, just pump them out. But guys, controlling that weight and just stretching the chest out, I mean, how can you not? It almost feels orgasmic. Like you're literally like, oh, fuck. You know, it's amazing. Like stretching and squeezing the chest will do so much more for you than just pumping out a bunch of reps on chest day just because you think you look cool. And honestly, by the way I do my split, I can still have the best of both worlds because I still bench every chest day, but then I follow it by a bunch of like training to failure. I still don't train my compounds to failure, obviously. Like my bench press, I never train it to failure unless it's a 1 rep max because I'm still doing that like how a powerlifter would. But, after that, I'm tempoing, I'm controlling, I'm squeezing. You can see in a lot of my videos, even this workout that I'm about to do, there's going to be a lot of tempo, there's going to be a lot of squeezing and controlling. And I'm telling you guys, just really try to squeeze and really control and drop your ego and just do a weight that is actually appropriate for that set. The last and final step, I would say, is have a girlfriend.
What?
With some knockers.
All right, well, you're losing that one.
No, you have knockers, trust me. Have a girlfriend with some knockers for motivation to build yours bigger than hers.
This hop one looks like a foot with only 2 big toes.
And that right there is basically how I grew my chest and how I changed my bird chest simplified.
To official the club or room. My homie laughed hard, heard I was there. Guess he got a killer sense of humor. I heard that pussy been thinking about death when that bullet gon' stick to his mouth like a tomb. Catch him and change him, look how they play him. We only gangsta up on his computer. He played foul when we gave him a pass. That don't mean we don't get on your ass in the
Well, that was actually a good one. Hey, my bitch got ass shots, but I promise that the chef is real.